Oh yeah, we back, baby. What's up, YouTube? What's up? Back at it. YouTube Live. Andy Kruger here, professional dog trainer and decoy extraordinaire. Today's topic: are you working your dog or just exercising your dog? And trust me, there's a massive difference. Before we get into it, super quick, if you don't know, I am on Patreon, patreon.com/Andy Kruger. I'll warn you, on there, you got to pay to play. Boys, your boys got to keep the lights on, got to pay to play on there, but if you're interested, if you want to check it out, if you want to join for a month or two, see if you like it, patreon.com/Andy Kruger. It's where I post all my full-length, unedited, broken down training sessions with various dogs working on various things, videos I wouldn't post anywhere else, especially not for free. So you can check that out. I get a lot of questions. Andy, do you have a puppy course on your Patreon? Do you have how to teach a dog to... Here's what the Patreon is. The Patreon is me filming exactly what I'm doing with dogs, explaining it, and posting it on there. So you have to read between the lines a little bit. You watch the videos to get an insight into my methods and get some inspiration for your training. The reason I don't do specific broken down step-by-step things on there, like kind of whoop, spoon feed, every dog is so different. It's not like woodworking. It's not like laying tile, hanging drywall, playing the piano. Those are inanimate objects. There's one way to do it correctly. You can go on YouTube and, hey, how to use this power tool, how to use that power. But dogs, they're so different. You can't really make generalizations. You can't say, for your dog, do exactly X, Y, and Z, because it's a lot more complicated than that. So the Patreon, probably hundreds of hours of content at this point. You watch it all, you're going to become 1,000 times better of a dog trainer doing that. So if you have questions about it, join that bad boy. Scroll through the videos. Spend a couple hours over a week watching them. Then you'll know exactly what you're getting on there. Okay, topic of the day. Like I said in the beginning of the video, are you working your dog or just exercising your dog? I'll tell you this. I'm also a pet dog trainer as well as a working dog trainer. I train a lot of pet dogs every year. And the common trend that I found amongst the average dog owner is that they believe that exercise and work are the same thing. My dog needs exercise. What was that, Andy? My dog needs exercise. My dog needs exercise. My dog needs exercise, 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 exercise. Of course, it's true. Every person needs exercise. Every dog needs exercise. Why can't I talk today? Needs exercise. Of course, but what does it mean to work the dog? Working doesn't necessarily involve a physical output. You can spend an entire day working at your job, working hard, becoming exhausted, needing a break, without physically doing much, if anything at all. So that's the difference. The difference between exercise and work. Exercise, you run around your neighborhood for 2 hours. You run several miles. That's exercise. Work is you start a business. There's a difference. So when it comes to dogs, what is working a dog? Working a dog is right here. It's getting in the mind of the dog. It's manipulating the dog in a good way to learn and perform certain tasks. I can get a dog exhausted mentally while physically they do very little. This could be with a heel command, with a sit stay, with a down stay, with a recall, with a place command, a climb command. I can work the dog. Working a dog takes a lot of skill, a lot of understanding of the animal. I don't care how many dogs you grew up with. I don't care how many decades you've owned shepherds for. Nobody is just going to wake up one day and know how to work a dog. No one's going to wake up one day and just be able to play the piano. It takes painstaking years of work, trial, error, failure, hundreds of hours of watching videos, talking to trainers, working with trainers to understand this skill. Most dogs, unfortunately, the average pet dog, they never work a day in their life. And that's why they develop bad habits. That's why they develop problems. Their lifestyle is all out of whack and they've never ever worked. Food for thought, y'all. Work the dog. Exercise daily, 5 days a week, little run here, little run there. Don't worry so much about exercise. Worry about working the dog. Working the dog, you get inside the dog's mind. You know how they think. You form their thoughts and opinions. Exercise, oh, I walk my dog 100 miles a day. I took my dog for a hike. My dog is at the dog park. Bad trainer. This is exercising a dog. That's great. That's a tiny, teeny tiny piece of what's needed to raise, train, and successfully own your dog. Think about it. A vast majority of my videos on YouTube for free show me working a dog. Definitely all my videos on Patreon, they show me working dogs. So there is a massive difference there. Are you working the dog or are you just exercising the dog? Well, I exercise them. They're absolutely exhausted. They come inside, they pass out. Tired dog's a happy dog. Not really. The dog needs to work. It is a working animal. And if you don't fulfill that, there's going to be a void. There's going to be something missing. You're not going to have control. I know thousands of people that exercise their dogs to death, but never have control of the dog and can never successfully influence the dog in simple or challenging situations. That's what it's all about. Working the dog, not exercising. And by the way, no offense to anyone, by the way, those little puzzle balls where the dog has to figure out how to get the food out, that doesn't count. When they go, oh, I hide treats and toys all over the house and I make my dog search and use his nose and his brain to find them. Great mental exercise. No, it's not. No offense to anyone. I've had hundreds of clients over the years tell me the dog works and gets mental stimulation by finding things or the puzzle balls or whatever. No. That's not work. And also, that kind of stuff, unless you're raising an explosive detection dog, a drug detection dog for the police, that stuff's actually going to be counterproductive to your training because you're teaching your dog, oh, all the value is way out there, far away from me. So put your nose down, go wander around and find it. It has nothing to do with you. That doesn't give you any value. It does the opposite. All the value's away from you. A total stranger could grab your dog, stick them in their house, and have them search for a bunch of stuff. It gives you zero value. I never do that kind of stuff with my dog unless I'm looking to train the dog to track for IGP or, like I said, explosive detection, cadaver, search and rescue, something like that. But think about it. Work your dog. That's where the commands come in. Teaching a dog something is very different than working the dog on something. Everybody in the world that owns a dog will probably tell you, my dog knows how to sit. No, dude, my dog learned sit in 5 minutes. Like, what's next? How do you teach them to jump over a 15-foot wall and through a ring of fire? And that? Everyone's dog knows sit, right? I bet you if you brought your dog here and executed a sit, I bet I could get him to break it like that. So there's levels. You need to work the sit. You need to work the down, work the heel. Not just teach it, have them do it a handful of times and be like, oh, he's got sit. You need to work the dog. Even an experienced dog using sit stay, down stay. I could take 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes and I could mentally exhaust the dog working on those things. Not just teaching, not just, oh, no, sit, good, no, sit. No, working the dog. Every day they need to work on something a little bit more advanced. They need to keep going. At first, much like a child, you teach them addition and subtraction. It's a lot of work for the child mentally. They've never done it before. They have to think hard. They have to apply themselves. They have to pull from various areas. But once they've been doing it for a month or two, addition, subtraction's easy. Now we got to move on to multiplication, division, and so on and so on and so on. And your dog is no different. There are levels. Your sit stay's never finished. Your down stay is never fully proved. And if you think it is, bring them on over and I'll expose the chinks in their armor. Work the dog, people. Forget about all the exercise. Anyone can exercise a dog. It's cheap. It's easy. People that know absolutely nothing about dogs, they've never owned a dog, they can slap a harness on them, walk them around the neighborhood or the woods for an hour or two, and the dog's completely exhausted physically. The dog didn't work. Anyone can do it. It's cheap. It's easy. Working the dog, that's how you bond with the dog. Not sleeping in bed with them, not petting them every day, not obsessing over them. Oh, he's up on the couch. That's not how you bond with a dog. Bonding is the training. It's the working. Think of it this way. If you have a young teenager or something like that, and they love to go on runs. They like to jog around the block. They're fit. They're healthy. They like going on runs. They run all the time. They run 4 or 5 days a week. If somebody asks you, hey, does your kid work? Does he have a job? He runs. It's not the same. Playing, dog park, daycare, it's not the same. Oh, my kid was out playing football with his buddies all day. He's working. He's playing. He's exercising. Of course, there's skill sets there, but work. That's what's missing from the average dog. Any dog with a problem, any dog with an issue, I guarantee they're not working like they should be. Boom! Let's get into the questions now, y'all. Let's see what we got. We got a bunch of them here. What's up? What's up? Where are you, Andy? Hello from Brazil. What's up, Brazil? I'm here early to get the good seats. Very smart. Hey, Andy, what's up from the Netherlands? I saw you working with Jasper and a Tug. I noticed you were only saying his name to let go. Is there a reason why, or do you only use out for bite work? Great question, and I get that question all the time. I use my dog's name as their out command. They also know out. They also know done. I have several out commands, and the reason is the sport that I compete in, French ring, it is written in the rules that their name has to precede every out command. If you just say out, You don't know the rules, get off the field. So you have to say their name before you out them. So I say in trial, Jasper, out. And by the time the T rolls off my tongue and I finish the word, his mouth needs to be open and off the decoy, or else I'm losing points by the second. Excuse me. So in training, if I teach Jasper and he lets go on that, in trial, I'll never lose a point on the out because I go, Jasper, out. And by the time I get to out, he's already began the process of opening his mouth and letting go. So, little trick there. What do we got here? Hey, made it on time today. What's up from Hawaii? What's up, Hawaii? Beautiful place. Happy training from Denmark. What's up, Denmark? Ready to learn. Looks like the flag from Spain. Hey, Andy, am I able to have a competition dog still be my pet dog after I establish a good working relationship? I'm assuming it would be just like a law enforcement canine being a pet dog, but I'm probably wrong. Here's my opinion. A law enforcement canine should never be a pet dog. Never, 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 never. Oh, but Andy, I knew this one guy who this one dog. Just because somebody can find an exception to the rule, it doesn't mean that the rule no longer applies, right? You can probably always find an exception somewhere, but no. Can a working dog be a pet dog? Simply put, no. No, they can't. Pick one or the other. Treat them like a working dog or treat them like a pet dog. I know there's exceptions out there. I know there's professional dog trainers and high-level competitors that can cross-pollinate and do both. Just because there's an exception doesn't mean the rule changes. So you want to have a working dog, you want to have a pet dog, you don't want to mix the two. If you want both, maybe get two dogs. What's up? Ready to learn? Oh yeah, Brazil here. What's up, Brazil? Hey, from South Carolina. I love South Carolina. We live. Hey, Andy, much needed. This topic, God bless. Awesome. Hey, Andy. Hey, brother, my German Shepherd is so reactive to dogs and people. What should I do? You need to build bulletproof engagement with the dog. You need to hold all the value, period. You're the most important thing to the dog all day, every day. If your dog's reactive to dogs and people, you need to start from square one and build proper engagement. Forget about obedience. Forget about corrections. If you can't engage your dog for food or a toy in any situation with anything in it, no matter what, don't move on. Hey, Andy, why you don't teach your dogs trick like shake, play dead, play? Because I don't want to. Hello from California. What's up? So glad I put the notifications on. I didn't know there'd be a live. Yep. If you guys don't know, you got to hit that subscribe. If you're on here and you're not subscribed, how dare you? Quit riding for free. Hit that subscribe. Totally free. Next to the subscribe, there's a little bell icon. Hit that bell, and what that does, it's going to notify you as soon as I post a video or when I post a live. It'll pop up on your screen just like you're getting a text. So you got to hit that notification bell. Any videos on dogs who are fast learners? Look, here's the thing, George. Fast learners, it means absolutely nothing to me. Learning doesn't have... Any dog can learn anything very, very quickly with the right training. You should be able to teach the dog a number of things in a session or two, but it doesn't have anything to do with the dog's ability to execute first time, every time, no matter what. So fast learners are pretty much irrelevant to me. Let's go. Bear has no idea how to throw his legs back. Any suggestions? How to teach the jump? Yeah, it's complicated, Jordan. We'll talk about that. I mean, come on, Jordan, what do you think? You think you're just going to send him over a hurdle and he was just going to magically have perfect form? Maybe. Sometimes people get lucky, but what does your club say about that? Hello from Ireland. I finally joined an IGP club, training with a championship level trainer. Really opened my eyes. Thanks, Andy, for all the good work. Booyah. When you actually train with a legitimate championship level trainer, not just the champion of his backyard, but a real champion in a dog sport, your eyes are going to open wide. I know a good bit about dogs and training. I'm sure I could learn a lot from a quality championship level trainer. Hey, Andy. What's up, Israel? Patreon. My dog is so reactive. Does karate training help with that? I don't know what that is, my brother. Working the brain. You got that right. Off topic as usual, is bite grip something that can be improved? Absolutely, of course, 100%. I'm late to the sport. The dog is 20 months old and has never had bite training. 20 months old is a fine age to start bite work and grip development. Get with an expert trainer. How do you work a dog? You get up in here. You get up in here. That's how you work a dog. Obedience. Best advice on how to exercise a 9-week-old Doberman puppy. You don't exercise a 9-week-old puppy. How dare you? You want to give it hip dysplasia and horrible joint? No, you don't exercise them. Put them down in the yard. Give them a toy. That's how you do it. Have you ever worked with an XL bully? Nope. My dog's name is Tiny. She's almost an 80-pound German Shepherd. Sorry. Pet peeve. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Sorry. My pet peeve, when people misspell shepherd. It's not S-H-E-P-A-R-D. That's shepherd. It's shepherd. S-H-E-P-H-E-R-D. Shepherd. For sure, if you own the breed, know how to spell it. But hey, no offense. No offense. I'm sure it was maybe just a typo. 15 minutes of scent work will smoke my mal more than a 10-mile hike. Nice. Again, if you're training scent work or tracking, if you're an IGP, not bad. Does a muzzle affect the dog's behavior when training an aggressive dog? Well, it takes the option of biting off of the table for them. Let's go, Andy. I need to set up a video chat with you soon. I've been lagging. Yeah, you have been, Rhett. Where the heck have you been? Rhett, level 3 Patreon. Jump on a call every month. We work it out. One of the advantages to Patreon. We worked this morning for 20 minutes, and I could tell he hit his limit. Back inside to the X-Pen, healing, sits, recall. I started teaching the 5-minute challenge around the cone. Nice. Sounds like you're working. We hunt deer sheds. Alrighty. That's cool. I exercise their body through running. I work the dog with engagement training. That's good. How do we teach pet dog owners to balance exercise and training? Everyone just wants to walk their dogs into the ground for hours. Haha. I feel like they think it's more important than training. Yeah, Rhett, I tell all my pet dog clients, don't worry about exercise. Don't worry about it. If you're working the dog, that's what the dog needs. Don't worry about exercise. We'll worry about that later. Worry about working the dog. Just take it off the table. Hey, Andy, been following your content for a year or so. Thank you very much. Love it. I'd be interested to know your opinion on dog prey drive kicking in during play with other dogs, herding, neck biting. You probably wouldn't be too curious to hear my opinion because I don't really have an opinion on it. I don't really dive into the world of dogs interacting with each other. It just doesn't have anything to do with training. It's just dogs being dogs. So Your dog, if you are going to have your dog play with another dog, having the correct dog for them to play or interact with is absolutely everything. I needed this live. Yeah, you did. My dog has such a high toy drive that I have trouble getting him to do anything else. Dog training is very difficult. Love you, Andy. You're the best. Love you too. Hello from Guatemala. What's up? Hello, Andy. Thank you for sharing knowledge with us. I had great engagement from my Belgian sheepdog when playing on field, but couldn't achieve any responsiveness from him in public places. You got to build better engagement. So true. Bonding with training. That's where the real bond comes in. Anyone can cuddle a dog. Anyone can pet a dog. Anyone can give a dog separation anxiety in a matter of hours. It takes absolutely no skill. The bond is the work. Will there be a chance to pick your brain regarding new to training 15-week pup? What's your question? I have a lot of videos on here that you should watch. When working a 6-month-old place command outside, I can put him on his place with distance and duration, cutting the lawn, but inside on climb, he's a little crackhead, anxiety, who won't relax. Marcia, that's probably because early on you let the dog off leash free roam the house, and I'd be willing to bet that most of the time, most days, your dog is able to move about freely on his own accord, aka I bet you that your dog most of the time is able to do whatever he wants in the house, and dogs will revert to what they do most of the time. So it causes your dog anxiety to sit still because you first taught them you can run around and do whatever you want, and then tried to implement control when it should have been the other way around. So Marcia, this is like if you have a young kid and you say, or a teenager, and you say, yep, you have absolutely no rules, go out, do whatever you want, come home whenever you want. And then one day you wake up and go, hey, you have a lot of rules now, and you have this curfew, and you have this. The kid's going to push back on that. It's going to make him mad. It's going to stress him out. He's going to go, whoa, 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 whoa. No, I don't want to do that. You already told me I could do whatever I want. Now you want to rein me in? So you always have to start with control first. Thanks to your videos, I made a few steps back, and now I'm able to do focused heel with them. That's good to hear, Michael. By the way, hello from Smithville, Ohio. What's up, Ohio? Best way to start working my dog. Engagement. Belgian Shepherd Labrador, very high energy, no such thing as high energy. He listens to all commands, but his attention span is very small and distracted by anything. His attention span is not small. That's a way of blaming the dog. It's not the dog's fault. It's not the dog's attention span's fault. It's a training issue. You need to build the dog before you put them in challenging situations. So think about that. Can you give an example of working the sitter down? It's easier to watch. It's easier to watch. It's like trying to describe music. It's better to listen. Watch my YouTube videos. They're all free. They're all mildly entertaining, I would venture to say. So you got to watch it. You have to watch my videos. Definitely Patreon. What's the difference between a show line and a working line Malinois? A working line Malinois is a real Malinois. I don't mean any offense by that. And a show line means that their genetics have been contaminated, they've been messed with, and the top priority is the look of the dog, which is definitely never good. Hello from Israel. What's up? Thanks for being here. What is your cue to let the dog know it's time to work and he has the opportunity to earn reinforcement? Donovan, I don't have a cue for that. My dog is in the mindset that as soon as that crate door opens, he's going to go to work. So I don't need to cue him to do that. His life is work. He craves work. It's all he wants to do is work. If I just let him out to potty, I know he's probably thinking, okay, cool, I get out of my crate, but I'd rather work. So I don't need to cue him. He just wants to all the time. Oh yeah, I could take my Mal for a 10-mile run and he could go for another 10 miles, 20 minutes of good work and he's done. Mental stimulation's the key. Bingo, and you're building that bond. We have a Malinois pup. Should she be in her crate most of the day unless she's training or go out to potty? At night while in the crate, she likes to bark and whine. She doesn't like to bark and whine. The dog's anxious. The dog has separation anxiety. It has nothing to do with like. Should she be in her crate most of the day? No, she should be off-leash free roaming your house most of. I'm kidding around with you. I'm playing. Yeah, she should be in the crate most of the day. When she's out of the crate, she should be working, pottying, playing, exercising with you. The barking and whining in the crate is the start of severe separation anxiety. The dog doesn't understand the crate. The dog doesn't have discipline. You need to get on that ASAP or else you'll have a mega mess on your hands. Thanks, Andy. Really starting to dissect all of my basic training instead of being in a hurry to move on. Boom, Karen. That's how you got to do it. Andy, you the man. You the man. 4-month-old Belgian Malinois. When should ideally introduce a prong collar? Don't worry about the prong. You're not going to need that for a long, long time. Don't worry about a prong. There is no age to introduce the prong. There is no stock answer. It's not fixing an appliance. It's not hanging drywall. There's not this age, that age, the other age. I can't do it unless you personally train with me and I know you and your dog and what you've done and what the dog knows. I could never tell you that. But 4 months old, that's not on my radar for, ask me next summer when you should implement the prong. Hello from Lebanon. What's up? Thanks for being here. I always follow your instructions. I have a male Malinois. Smart man. Thank you. Mexico present. What's up, Mexico? Thanks for sharing your experience. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Must I train my Malinois to do protection work? You don't have to, but I'll tell you this. There would never be a situation where I would ever own a Belgian Malinois if I didn't train bite work. There's literally no reason for me to have a Malinois. I like my Malinois because of the bite work training we do. If we never did bite work, I would get a lab. Maybe a golden retriever. I like both those dogs. What can you do with a pet dog that you cannot do with a working dog? What can you do with a pet dog that you can't do with a working dog? Don't both dogs need structure and training rules, boundaries, and limitations? Yeah, Donovan, for sure. Like me personally, if I'm raising a pet or a working dog, I treat them exactly the same. The difference is my pet dog isn't going to do French ring. They're not going to do the agility. They're not going to do the bite work. They're not going to need those kinds of disciplines. So I plan more for a dog that's going to be integrated into the house with my kid, with my family. In a working dog, I don't really plan for that or worry about that so much. I'm more focused on the actual ring program. But yeah, you're right. For me personally, pet dog, working dog, dog's a dog. I train the dog. I have different goals though. For example, if I get a Belgian Malinois and it's not capable of French ring, I'm not going to keep the dog. I'm not going to keep the dog. If I get a pet dog and they're not everything I wanted, maybe they're not as confident as I wanted, they're not as outgoing as I wanted, maybe they're kind of weird, it's not that important to me because they're just going to be hanging out at my house, doing stuff with me. It's not that important. But for the ring, that's for my career, that's for competition, that's to be the highest level in the world, so I have a lot higher standards. How do you become a professional dog trainer? Can you train a dog for protection on your own? No, you can't train a dog for protection on your own. How do you become a professional dog trainer? I would apprentice for about 5 years under a master. That's extremely difficult to do and find. My Mal is bored with obedience, and keeping her engaged is a mental exercise for me. She's bored because it's way too predictable for her. You got to up your game. Where do I start with obedience training? 15-week-old Mal. He seems a little advanced when trying to get him to lure with food. I'm planning on working him for scent work, engagement, luring, free shaping, building the bond, creating the habits. I find dog parks to be totally destructive to his training. Yeah, dog parks are absolute poison to dogs. Hey Andy, Patreon crew here. What's up? I know you do French ring, but any thoughts on Mondio ring? Got both a French ring club and Mondio club around. I mean, I like both. It's apples and oranges, but I do like Mondio. I like both. It's just totally different disciplines for the dog. Pick your poison, my friend. Pick your poison. You want a beer or you want whiskey? You know what I'm saying? Hey, both ring sports, it's personal preference. My man, get on Andy's Patreon if you aren't already. That's right. Get on that. Patreon's popping right now. I've been posting a ton. The decoy tier's about to blow up. I got like an hour and a half of decoy instruction that I filmed, and I've just been busy and haven't gotten to it. But that's going up soon, like in the next handful of days. Get on that Patreon. Also, we'll be doing a video on how to consolidate and teach the heel. Your healing video was fire. I just posted a more advanced heel video on my Patreon. On YouTube, maybe I will. It's just all about the timing, like the dogs that I have here. You know, I need a good client dog here, and I need the timing to line up where I can get the video and whatnot. Hey, from Kenya, what's up? Thanks for being here. How do I make my dog only focus on me and nothing else? You have to build perfect engagement. I know I keep saying that and it sounds really simple, but you have to build amazing engagement. If you get a dog in the first week, you do things wrong, it could be detrimental forever. Doing things exactly right from day one. Do you have any videos on what a session of work specifically looks like? Almost every video on my YouTube channel, my friend. And of course, every video on my Patreon, but I don't want to just keep trying to sell you guys on something. The YouTube stuff's totally free. Thanks, learning lots from your videos. I appreciate it. Best way to reintroduce crate to a 4-year-old that hasn't used it since a puppy. You stick that dog in there and you close that crate. They will get used to it. Don't baby them. Can I start training a dog at 8 weeks old? Not only can you, you need to start training the dog at 8 weeks old. Whether you know it or not, training starts the moment that dog comes into your possession. I don't care if you never think you do a day of training with it. Training starts the moment you get that dog. Andy, what do you think about Rottweilers? Like working and sport dogs. Rottweilers are cool. They can work. They can do some sports. No complaints there. Hey, Andy, tuning in from Spain. Man, I love Spain. I was there a couple times, actually, about 4 years ago, doing some French ring. Love it, love it, love it. I discovered your channel 10 days ago around the time I got Jax, a 5-month-old German Shepherd. Hey, you spelled Shepherd right. We're off to a good start. Currently fostering him, but hoping to adopt him. Cool, man. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Watch all the videos. You'll get a ton. Andy, what's the difference between canine and sport attack and protection? Well, a sport dog is trained to bite a decoy in a bite suit. A protection dog is trained to bite a man's limbs. So one of them is equipment oriented, the other isn't. How do you train recall but with an e-collar? Why do you want to use an e-collar for recall? You can train a very, very, very good recall without an e-collar. Hello, Andy. Is there a best time to walk your dog around 5 or 6 a.m.? Personal preference. You walk that thing whenever you want. Even though I'm not going to decoy, the decoy videos on Patreon are good for handlers too. Linda, I completely agree with you. Even if you don't have any aspirations to decoy, if you're going to put your dog on a decoy, you need to know your stuff. You need to know what that decoy is doing and why, or else you're just kind of blindly trusting someone with your dog. You need to know the proper escalation of things. You need to know what's safe, what's a good idea, what's not. So if you have a dog that's going to do bite work, you really need to educate yourself on the decoy side, even if you don't plan on doing it. Why are Belgian Malinois so expensive? Hugh, they're not. I mean, they're really not, man. They're you can get a Belgian Malinois for $1,400. You can get a Belgian Malinois for $2,500, $3,000. I mean, pretty much the price of any legitimate puppy. If you're talking about like an older trained dog, it's probably so expensive because years of training have went into the dog. Do you do bite work on your Tier 1 Patreon, or is Tier 1 more for pet owners? There's no, I mean, there might be some, no, there's some bite work on the Tier 1, but no, Tier 1's not just for pet dog owners at all. Tier 1 is for any and every dog owner, whether it's a pet dog or a working dog. Tier 2 is I'm instructing decoys. I'm teaching you how to catch a dog. I'm teaching you how to use the stick, etc. But there's bite work on the Tier 1. Andy, I'm working recall on my 9-month Mal. Should I master this before work on a new skill like heel? No. No. You train the recall, you train the heel, you train the sit, you train the down, develop everything together. You can have a session where you specifically work on recall. You can have a session where you specifically work on heel, but no, dogs, they can take it. Trust me. Train everything. Perfect engagement is hard work. Never totally obtained. You got it. Engagement, 100% of the dogs that come through my door for training have zero engagement. And the owners had them for 6 months, 6 years, zero engagement. Positive only trainers are a flaw for people that got reactive dogs. They only make the situation worse. Agree. I'm at the house around 8 hours a day. Is it fair to leave my dog in the crate that long? I would build him up to it. I'm downloading Patreon and joining after this. Thanks, Steve. Look, man, 8 hours isn't ideal. 8 hours is definitely not ideal. Can it be done? Yes. If the dog is, 9 to 12 months old, it's possible, but it's not like super ideal. Like, you can do it, but it's not ideal. It's really nice if you could have someone come break the dog halfway through that. Hey, from the Philippines, what's up? Thanks for being here. How many months or years a dog can remember his training commands if he's not practicing for a long time? This is what I tell all my clients. Your dog will never forget heel. They'll never forget sit down. They'll never forget what I train them to do, but they could easily choose to not execute it anytime. The untrained eye could go, oh, he doesn't know heel. No, he knows heel. He's just choosing not to do it. So they never forget, but they can definitely choose not to execute. Hit the like button. Thanks, Rachel. My Malinois is crowding into me while healing. How do I fix that? Luring. Go back to the lure, get your food, get the left hand, only pay what you like, mark the correct position, and reinforce over and over again. Greetings from Costa Rica. What's up? Hey, Andy, my 6-month-old Mal is in her crate while I'm watching the live stream. Can you comment on proofing the recall? When? How? We're nearing the 1,000 reps you've recommended. Awesome, Michael. So starting the process of proofing the recall is adding negative reinforcement. First time, every time, no matter what the dog does. You call the dog starts running right to you. You add negative reinforcement. I posted a video a couple weeks ago breaking down negative reinforcement with a puppy. So check that out and you add that in. You can use a retractable or a long line. You can also add a couple distractions now, a ball, a toy, another dog. That's where that negative reinforcement is going to come into play. For a 12-week-old Mal, should I be splitting time between biting, flirt, pull, or rag, and obedience, or should I focus on one specific? No, you split time. So you do a couple obedience sessions a day, and then you do a bite work session a day. How do I keep my Mal from trying to dominate me or my family? You need to structure the correct lifestyle and build the correct training. If your dog's trying to dominate you and you don't know what to do, it's possible you have the wrong dog. It's possible that the breed isn't a good fit for you, but it's all about the dog's lifestyle and every interaction that they've ever had with you or the family. If you brought the dog home, stuck it in the house, let it run around, explore, basically let it do whatever it wants, a lot of the time, you're going to have big time problems. With a Malinois, that can be wildly dangerous. With a Golden Retriever, you're definitely going to have some issues. With a Malinois, you're going to have a liability. Does waking up dog aggression change the dog's personality or the way the dog carries him or herself? I don't know if I get that question. I mean, dog aggression will definitely change a dog's personality if there's another dog around, for sure. I don't know if I totally get the question. My 12-month Mal female is, fat fingers. My 12-month-old female is crazy, accidentally made a 3-centimeter hole in stomach while jumping over a fence. How to calm down her energy through healing process. She just don't care if she's injured. Not to sound like a jerk at all, is the Malinois the right breed for you? Why do you have the Malinois? Like I said, I get a Malinois because I want to compete at the top level in French ring. If I had no goals to compete or do bite work at all, I would never own a Malinois. I'd get a Lab, a Golden, a Spaniel, a Terrier, almost anything except a Malinois. So like, if you're asking like, how can I calm down a 12-month-old Malinois? I'm totally not trying to be a jerk. Please don't take it personally, but your head's totally in the wrong place. You're trying to change who the dog is. You don't have the proper outlets for the dog. You don't have the proper environment, the proper training knowledge. So you're just going to have problems. How can we get people to treat their dogs more like dogs and not furry accessories, without making them feel like you're insulting how they love their dog? Yeah, Rhett, I mean, this is going to sound bad. It's the new trend of the lives. I'm like, this is going to sound mean. I'm going to sound like a jerk. Don't take it the wrong way. People are very selfish with their dogs. They use them for their own benefit. Oh, cuddle dog makes me feel good. Oh, yes, this is how I want to do it with the dog. This is how I want to live with the dog. This is how I want to interact with the dog. This is what I want to do. But they never think about the dog. Rhett, you need to hit them with the facts. And if they don't like you, then you don't want them as a client anyway. You gotta lay it down to them. You have to tell them, Rhett, Don't do that with your dog. Do X, Y, and Z. Oh, but I don't want to. I feel bad. I go, that's fine. That has nothing to do with the training program or what the dog needs. Hey, from the USA, do you just have Mallies? No, I've had a ton of different dogs. I have my favorite dog ever. I have my Boykin Spaniel. He's napping on the bed right there. I have a Jack Russell Terrier. I've had another Boykin Spaniel. We have a Munsterlander. I've had Labs. I've had Golden Retrievers. I've had a lot of dogs. My 4-month-old puppy is a poop eater. Greeting from the Netherlands. Yeah, that's annoying, Catherine. The only thing you can do about that is always keep poop perfectly picked up so the dog just cannot do it. Getting a puppy, a Dutchie, in the next few months. Was wondering if I should put him in the crate the first night or get him used to it. George. Put him in the crate Put him in there! Yeah, you put him in the crate. Crate right off the bat, my man. You're great. Greetings from the Netherlands. What's up? Thanks for your responses. You're welcome. When training, my dog whines and barks out of excitement when training when I put her in a duration command. Should I go back to reinforcing duration on static command? Sit down, stand? I'm sorry. I don't really get that question. I don't want to misanswer. Sorry, I don't really understand that one. Why do some people work their dog in German even though they speak English? Personal preference. You know, there's a lot of tradition when it comes to dogs from Germany and using the language. Of course, Schutzen is a big influence there. How do you teach the stargaze upward look when heeling? My girl will only do it with a hand target. The art of fading a lure. The art of fading the lure. Think about it. In regards to the 8 hours in the crate, if I sleep in his crate at night, but I give him free rein in the house in the day, counterproductive? Yeah, for sure, it's super counterproductive. He's doing very well with obedience, but he's so addictive to the poo outside on our walk. Quit taking the dog where there's a bunch of crap. Do lazy Malinois exist? No, but you know, a very, very senior Malinois won't behave the way that a young one will. From a PSA perspective, is it true that too much obedience training without incorporating some bite work can hinder the dog's performance? Yes and no, Juan. Too much obedience hinder the dog's bite work? No. If you do the obedience correctly and the dog's lifestyle is on point, you won't have a problem with any of that. But if you do the obedience too much too soon, you do it incorrectly, you're adding pressure, the dog's lifestyle's all out of whack, yeah, that could definitely mess up your bite work. What's your method to train if you live in 105-degree temp? A good inside space. You're a legend. I don't know about that, but I'll take it. You said it, not me. I still got work to do, trust me. In order to be successful in protection sports, does the dog need to be aggressive? Or can you with I mean, what's your definition of aggressive? No. To compete in protection sports, you can have a perfectly social, happy-go-lucky dog for sure. A suit sport, like French ring, for example, it's a prey sport. No aggression needed. Andy, he's not eating poop. He's eating poop on walks. Environment's everything. Environment's absolutely everything. I would never, if I had a dog that would eat poop, I would never put it in a situation where he could access poop. I know you're like, but I got to walk it. Put the dog in the car, drive him to a park, walk him there. There's always a solution. It's just, how much are you willing to work for it? Are crates necessary, or can they live in the house like a crate? Crates are necessary 100% of the time. Maybe not for the dog's whole life, but for a dog who's young in his training, crate is everything. If I have a client call me and they say, hey, Andy, we will pay you $1 million to train our dog. We'll do anything you say. We just refuse to use a crate. I like money, but I like good dog training better. I'd say, I can't work with you, or hear me out for 5 minutes, and then I bet you'll use a crate. Hey, Andy, what are some of your recommendations for intro Tug Toys for my 1-year-old Doberman? Do you have an affiliate link I could use? I don't have an affiliate link. The easiest thing you could do is jump on Learberg.com. I'm not associated with them. I don't make any money, though they probably should pay you, boy. Learberg, will he kill you to holler at your boy? You guys need a little in your content. Let's go. Just go to Learberg. It's like one of the largest dog training stores online. They're good people there. You can get all kinds of tugs. Learning a lot, thanks. You're welcome. How do I get my Mal to get more toy drive? My Mal's more on the chill side, but I bought a few toys and he doesn't seem interested. One of my livestock guardian dogs will play with toys, but he won't. Depends how old. If you're talking like a 10-week-old puppy, I'm like, don't worry about it. If you're talking about like a 3-year-old dog, I'd have some strategies. So it depends on the age. Here's the thing though, guys. The dog, you kind of got what you got to a certain extent. Of course, we can always improve and change things, but sometimes a dog's like, I don't want to play. But it just depends on the age for that one. Using German commands, I do it so my husband won't mess up my training. Sit, sit, sit. Smart lady, Linda, very smart. Sorry you don't understand my point. I got the right dog for me. We are a perfect match. I know her energy. That's why I am asking how to calm her while she's injured. She shouldn't move a lot. Crate. Put the dog in the crate. Crate rest maybe a month. Every time it comes out on a short leash. Probably varies, but how long does it take on average for a puppy to get used to the crate and not whine and potty in the crate? On average, off the top of your head, please. Thanks for your help in videos. You're welcome. On average, it will take a puppy 2 to 3 days to fully acclimate to the crate if you're doing everything correctly when they're out of the crate. So a dog's behavior in a crate is a reflection on what they do out of the crate. 2 to 3 days. How do you get a dog interested in a bite pillow? My dog doesn't seem interested in a pillow. Again, depends on the age. You guys got to tell me the age. I'm going to have a totally different strategy for a 4-month-old than a 4-year-old. So make sure you add in those ages. I don't want to give you bad advice. How would you get more intensity during bite work out of your dog? I sound like a broken record. Luca, I need the age. I need the age. If you want more intensity out of a 6-month-old, I'd be like, don't worry about it. Stick to the program. Keep doing it. That'll come. If the dog's 3 and has been doing bite work for 2 years, I'm going to have a different strategy for you. My Mal's 7 months. 7 months, don't worry about it. I know you want to hear. Let the dog mature. Let the dog live. Some of the top trainers in the world, guys, the top trainers in the world. They compete at a world level. They win at a world level. I know, I won't say personally because I haven't actually met him, but I know pretty well, without meeting him, the handler that won the championship of France a few years ago. He doesn't touch bite work till the dog's a year. Now, of course, they have a specific lifestyle. They're not like living in his house, like hanging out with him on the couch, eating dinner in his kitchen with his kibble. But a lot of the big, important, successful trainers, they don't worry about bite work when there's that. You know what I mean? It's like if you have like a 12-year-old playing football, like, man, how do I get him more intense? Like, hey, man, he's 12. So I hate to say, oh, don't worry about it. You can cause more harm than good by trying to push the puppy. Let the puppy be a puppy. Carry out your training. Work with the intensity that you have. I've personally seen a million dogs under the age of 1 that I thought, it's not there. And then I see them 2 years later and I go, are you kidding me? That thing's a monster. We need the maturity. Remember, a lot of the great trainers that win championships, they don't care about a dog's intensity the first year. It's a baby. It's a child. Their eyes haven't even been opened for a year. Literally, you got to think about that. I know we see these little puppies in videos doing all this crazy stuff, but don't always trust videos. What dog crates do you recommend? The big plastic ones. Let's go Yankees! Another baseball fan. I love it. Do the 5-minute challenge is a good work the dog? The 5-minute challenges are a great way to work the dog. Yes, sir. My Malinois, she's 1.5 and she barks at strangers entering my home. She's mostly calm outside. How do I fix it? I'm sorry to sound like the broken record. You need to build engagement. If your dog doesn't care about engaging you when someone's in your house, at your door, that's a dog who doesn't have strong engagement. You need to become the most important thing to your dog all day, every day. What's your favorite command on your dog? My favorite command's the attack command. When I can send him downfield and he bites the decoy with good technique, attack, that's my favorite. So in personal protection, you need your dog to be active in aggression, but in sport, aggression isn't necessary. Absolutely correct. Now, IGP is a little different story. IGP, we need to see some good aggression with our bark and hold, with our grip. We need to bark at the man, not a little yippee prey bark at the sleeve. Those are the requirements for that discipline. But for a ring sport, you can definitely have a dog with true aggression. I've seen them. They've won championships, but I've also seen dogs that are pure prey, would never in a million years bite without the suit if it wasn't a game, who are also champions. So it all depends on the discipline. Six years old, we want to build the drive of a 6-year-old. Then a back tie is your best friend. Harness, you need a second person to post the dog out. I would do 2-minute sessions, maybe 4 times a week. Tease, 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 miss, tease, miss, tease, miss, tease, 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 bite, boom, put the dog up. That's what you need to do. Can a Belgian sheepdog show line with a lot of drive do French ring up to level 3, or is it exclusive for working line? They cannot. It is exclusive for a working line. You might, with a really crazy dog, you might be able to pull off a brevet. 1 year, 8 months to get interested in the pillow. Gotcha. So a back tie again. You need a good harness. You need a good handler posting the dog out. And you need good skills to tease the dog, entice the dog, frustrate the dog, and build the drive to get the toy. Think about it like your dog's behind a fence and there's a rabbit running back and forth on the other side of the fence. That's kind of what you want to create with the back pressure. What's your solution / recommendation to get an 11-month-old Mal to reduce or eliminate his infatuation in squirrels? Here's the thing, Rick. A Malinois is a prey monster. If you're trying to get your Malinois to not care that much about squirrels, you are going against nature. You're going against all of their genetics. What I recommend is you need a fully fenced in yard where the dog can chase squirrels or anything all day, all he wants, and it's perfectly safe. And if he catches one, God bless him. When you're outside of your perimeter, outside of your property, your dog just needs to kick into training, engage you. Everything else is white noise. I'm just curious, most of the great trainers are all over in Europe, correct? Or is that just BS? No, you're right, John. You're absolutely right. My time that I spent in Europe many years ago was a huge eye-opener for me, because it's one thing to know great training happens there, and it's another thing to be there and see it and participate in it. So yeah, 100%. Americans have totally ruined dogs. Kidding, I'm American, I'm allowed to say it. I have a 3-year-old Doberman that was great at bite work up until we put OB into it. Now she acts nervy. There's probably some conflict with your obedience. That's all I could think about. Obedience shouldn't make the dog nervous, so maybe too much too soon. Don't worry about corrections. Don't worry about, go back to crazy basics. My 6-month-old German Shepherd puppy can stay alone in his room, but when we are in the next room, he's whining to come out. What should we do? Thank you. Well, your dog has separation anxiety. You need to radically change the dog's entire lifestyle and how you interact with the dog every time you do interact with the dog. Everything you've done up until this point has created what you have. So to see drastic changes, you need to make drastic changes to the way you think about the dog and the way you interface with the dog. I have another one, just curious. I was at Cabela's and I saw a bag of treats, dehydrated liver. Is that better than kibble? What do you think? The dehydrated liver is very healthy, very good for dogs, for sure. I need my dogs to work for their kibble so I don't become a dessert trainer, but they're definitely good to give to your dogs. This is off-topic question. What do you think of cold pressed kibble? Honestly, I've never heard of it. He's okay when we're not home, but we're in another room whining nonstop. Yes, he has separation anxiety. He is separated from you. He knows you're in the room. He can't be with you. He becomes very anxious. You need to radically change everything that you do with the dog to see a radical change in the dog's behavior. Are there any ways to make a dog run faster? A lot of theories on that. Best way to build up muscle mass is swimming. Swimming is the best way to effectively exercise your dog with minimal resistance and stress on their joints and bones. Andy, challenge accepted about the Shoreline sheepdog. Nice. Get after it. Get after it. How do you train the dog to pick up the tug toy like you showed us in the video on why you should not play fetch? How do you get them to pick up? Well, they have to like the tug. Sorry, it's a crappy answer. I mean, just play with it, throw it, they get it. Good boy. Andy, one more puppy question. Should I let my puppy say hi to people every now and then or not at all? Not at all. That was easy. How do you solve separation anxiety? You radically change the dog's lifestyle and how you interact with them. Any and every time you interact with them. But guys, here's the thing. Sometimes you can only make separation anxiety a little better. You can't change it. Once it's in there, it's in there. You know what I mean? That's the tricky thing about dogs. If you are trying to DIY a home project and you're going to replace some drywall, you've never worked with drywall before. You watch some YouTube videos, you go to Home Depot, you get the supplies, you come, you do the whole drywall. When the job's done, you messed it up. It's totally messed up. It's your first time. You have to cut away all your work. You lose money. You have to go back to the store. You have to buy new drywall and you have to do it again. You mess it up again. You cut the drywall, you lose more money, you go get the drywall. Okay, now you got on the third time, wall's perfect. The thing about dogs is, it's not an inanimate object, it's not a piece of material, it's a living being. So the first time if you mess something up, you can't just cut it away and go to the store and get a new one. I mean, you could get a new dog, but it's in there. But to solve separation anxiety, you need to radically change pretty much everything that you've been doing with the dog since you've had it. That's what we're doing with my Dobie. Wanted to make sure we're on the right track. Thank you. Thank you. I compete in IGP. I train defense without decoy to teach the obedience in the beginning with my young dog. I like it. Almost time to start trapping. Almost time to start trapping. Andy, trapping those beavers and freeze them down in the dog winter makes an awesome raw diet. Nice. I would have liked to know, apart from the Jolly Balls, if you had any other advice for keeping my dog busy, because he spends his time coming to see me. Thanks for all, a French subscriber. Nice. A good place command is what you need. You need to give the dog a job, go stay on your bed, deal with it. That's going to occupy them. And then playtime's playtime. Dropping in to say thanks for hosting these Q&A. Thank you. What do you think about positive only vet behaviorist? No good. That's what I think about it. Andy Love from India. My dog doesn't walk well. Both me, otherwise pulls. Go to my brother. You gotta watch my healing video. It's free on YouTube. Start there. Don't move on till you master that. I think I posted it a month ago. Thank you. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy training. Let me know in the comments any questions you have. If you catch this on replay, hit me with the questions. Patreon.com/Andy Kruger. See what all the fuss is about. Buy my merch. Any regular YouTube video I post, the link is in the description. I very much appreciate everyone jumping on here and tuning in. We're only getting started. Happy